weekend so far. 32.879 with Valentino's circuit record at the moment.
Well, we're well over that.
So, hang on, we're not. It's 33, was it? But anyway, we'll get to that in a moment. Wait and see how these tyres roll up, as this is the hottest it's been all weekend. And this track is completely different, so they have no data. There's no data in the bank.
I get nervous when I see that Mark Marquez has not gone to the hardest boxing at the front.
Right there in fourth place, he's pretty much knows what he's doing. Of course, he didn't test here, and the Yamahas did, because it was ended up being wet for half of the day. The Repsol Honda boys didn't want to use up that test day as one of their allocated tests. So instead of going half a day of a test, they went home. Left it to Cal Crutchlow and the Yamaha, so that Yamaha perhaps have more in the way of data. But right on to closes in on the independent M1 Yamaha of Yamaha through turns 1, through turns 2. Now we come to turn 3, and up the inside comes put Valentino Rossi down the hard shoulder when it came to Texas. So maybe he'll be doing a bit of.
I was wondering if he wouldn't get the drive out down to Chappelle. He didn't. He lost nothing. He even gained, as you say. And now Valentino Rossi is lining up the look.
Rossi, of course, as we've said, championship leader by virtually nothing. Miller goes up to 8th in front of Redding. In fact, Redding's going downhill. I wonder if that's Redding gone off somewhere. He's dropping down our leaderboard, so I think Redding has taken an excursion off track. We'll wait and see who confirms that in a moment. Valentino Rossi, and closing them down is the Repsol Honda of Marc Marquez.
There's a bit of ground there through the S's, did Valentino?
I think it just stretches out because of the
wide angle lens.
And if you remember, Valentino was dead steady through this final sector for quite a few laps before he really got his tyres up to temperature. Whenever we watched him early on, he was a little steadier through his S's. Usually getting on very well with that hard front tyre early in this race. Wait to see whether it becomes an advantage as we get into the race.
He's just done his best lap of the race. And that's Scotty looking like he had a great bit of technical of some sort.
Yeah, that's very, very disappointing.
Yeah, that's what the body weight would say.
No damage to that bike. So, Redding, not externally anyway. Not this done yet.
He is under pressure, to put it mildly.
Runs in hot there. Very, very hot there. As we cut back to a despondent.
Every time you think he's going to be right on him, the camera goes back and he's 30 yards further back than you think.
People are talking about him for replacing Valentino Rossi when Rossi retires. A bit premature if you ask me anyway, both on whether he is going to retire and he's going to be a very wealthy man. Let alone that he won't be thinking about that. Of course, it's only going to be about race results, but
told me on the way to Texas,
he
still lives in Avignon because he hasn't made any money yet. Doesn't have to really bother go.
And Bradley Smith and the two KTMs, 14th and 15th, both in the points at the moment. Pole slipping back towards Bradley. Bradley makes his way to get a study. Oh, should have stayed with it. That turn 1 and 2 is just breathtakingly quick up there. And then they put the chicane in now in the old days. Go straight through there, flat out, up and over the hill and under the Dunlop Bridge, down to the Chappelle. And again, well, you see it, they all do that when they really look for it's a late apex pretty much. As Maverick hits that, and so do the other two, but it always gets a bit squirrely on the way in there on the brakes, and trail braking right the way in. This left-hander, turn 7, really tricky, a little flatter than you'd really want it, and the first time you ask for the left-hand side of the tyre, that's why some of this asymmetric tyre that we heard them talking about earlier on the front.
Valentino did his personal best lap of the race last time round.
Yeah, personal bests are great, but it hasn't got in front of the man in front of him. But surely the gap from Rossi to Marquez is what, 0.2? Rossi
to Marquez last time round was 0.7. Other people are slowing. Here's the pass.
And it will be down to tyres at the end of it, or how he manages to manage it. Look, he's got the long Honda exhaust pipes on there. If you look at Marc Marquez, he was using the slash-cut short versions. So slight different setup, both in their hardware as well as their software on the two Repsol Hondas. And back with Maverick, just a little doubting it. I've seen him sing.
And he nearly recovered from that experience.
He did it twice, just to make sure that I couldn't. Maybe that hard compound is not doing him any favours. Meanwhile, the front four
all together.
Yep, concertinaing right up there. Fastest lap last time round was Marc Marquez. Who's it going to be this time as they come to 17 laps to go? Over the line.
Personal best laps from all of the front three.
Yeah, the proper MotoGP race coming our way here. The French Grand Prix is an absolute classic by the look of this. There is Jack Miller, the man who had a massive crash in the Safety Commission meeting when they were voting about what tyres they were going to go for with Michelin. That all changes for the front halves from Mugello onwards, not here. And Lorenzo was against the majority, and Jack, in a typically Australian manner, where everyone's got an opinion they are like, and Jack bit back in another kind of a way, but you'll have to read about it elsewhere. I can't repeat it here.
It's handbags, it's handbags.
Interesting though.
There was a replay. Garage Vert. Oh, Rossi had a moment.
Yeah, Rossi did, and that brought Marquez right to his rear wheel. So we've got a tale of two twos. Come to the end of the lap again, 16 laps to go. I can't imagine doing 24 hours around here. A lap just goes so quick. Unbelievable. And it was Valentino Rossi who said this track is too short and the race is too long when asked if he'd ever take part in the 24-hour races. Valentino Rossi, 32.879.
So 7/1000th of a second shaved off the lap record on this new surface.
By Valentino's teammate out front at the moment.
And again, just as you think Vigneron is going to escape to get round to museum. And
the last front row Frenchman was Saron in 1988. He finished second then.
That was in a French Grand Prix at Donington. In any Grand Prix that you were speaking in French Grand Prix,
and there's an easy man to follow. He's not frightening to follow.
So you're not stressing yourself or the bike or the tyres.
This was the pass, and in a classic way, at turn 3, slid it underneath and run it to... Oh, look how quick you can turn that from side to side. Those Yamaha's front end, that was beautiful how it turned on.
And Valentino's big, long legs and arms just flicking the bike from side to side underneath him.
He's a good 6-footer, and those levers come in handy sometimes. He's changed his style to suit this motorbike. What a disaster Jerez was for the two Yamaha men. They're all back now, aren't they?
What a topsy-turvy season.
Yeah, love it when it's like that. It's hard to make an accurate bet on anywhere. Right now, Jules, I would not put this past Valentino Rossi to close his teammate down and take the win.
Absolutely. Just as I was thinking it's over and done with, you think...
2008 was the last time Valentino Rossi stood on the top step of the podium here. Valentino Rossi leads the French Grand Prix. Is he going to repeat his 2008 performance?
Victory is the cherry on top of an exhausting weekend. If his team keeps working like this, it will be really difficult for his opponents to overtake him. Picking up again live from the track, where the top 3 riders have just arrived on the podium for the award ceremony. Each Grand Prix makes its own story, but these guys will definitely be ones to keep an eye on in races to come.